If you're running an e-commerce store and want to start making more sales organically so you can stop relying on paid ads, I'm going to walk you through the exact process you can use to add 6 to 7 figures of revenue to your Shopify store using pre-existing organic communities. You can accomplish this in as little as 15 minutes a day, and I'm going to give you the exact steps to do it. I'm Ryan, and I built my brand Tru Earth to 8 figures in revenue in just 1 year, and I've helped other e-com brands do it as well. In this video, I'll reveal the exact systems you can use to grow your brand using pre-existing communities on X. Twitter. X. Without spamming or doing anything that will hurt your brand. What I'm going to teach you will not only make you sales in the short term, but will position your brand as a social media authority over time. This process is so good, it's scalable, and you can easily hand this process over to a team member once you've got it sorted out. So let's get into it. All right. So you really only need 2 things to get this process started. The first thing is you're going to need a Twitter or X account, whatever you want to call it. I can't stop calling it Twitter, but call it what you want. For this, I've made a fake account with a fake brand, so this isn't completely boring. So you're going to need Twitter. You can do it without the paid Twitter, but it's a lot harder. So in this example, I am going to demonstrate this using paid Twitter. To sign up, once you have an account, just click on premium. It's going to pop up, upgrade to premium. I personally use the middle option. It's $8.75 Canadian a month. It's probably basically free in American dollars. I don't know how much it costs other places in the world, but it's incredibly valuable. It's going to get you access to the tweet decks. It's going to get you access to analytics, and it's going to give you some level of boost on your on your replies, which is great. You want the impressions. That's what we're looking for. I've never tested the premium. Apparently you get an even larger boost. I don't know. Oh, the other thing premium lets you do as well is it lets you write long form posts. You definitely are going to want to do that. Otherwise you're restricted to 280 characters per message. Okay. So let's say we have that set up. The other thing you're going to need is 15 minutes to an hour per day. Obviously the more you do what I'm about to teach you, the better the results are going to be. But whatever you choose, I would try to make sure that you do the same amount every day so that in the end, when you're eventually trying to track your progress, it's easy to tell what worked and what didn't work. I'll tell you more about what you're going to do in a day once we get going. So the first thing that we need to do if we are going to execute on this strategy, which is trying to leverage existing communities, is we need to optimize our profile. This is incredibly important. You want it to be a personal profile and not a business page. The reason for this is people generally, when they see a business, they're going to be like, oh, this is commercial. They're going to immediately get their heckles up and they're going to think that you're trying to sell them something. You want to come across as a regular human being who owns a business, and when they come to check out your page, they'll see that it's something that they just so happen to possibly need. So there's going to be 3 parts to what I want you to do here when optimizing your profile. The first one, before we get started doing anything, we need to create custom UTMs. If you don't know what a UTM is, it's basically a link to your website that passes tracking information to Google Analytics or Shopify or whatever you're using so that we can determine where these users came from. We want to create 3 of these links here. One for our bio link, one for our social media posts. Actually, we just need 2. So we need 2 links, one for our bio and another one for what we will call our pin post, which I'll show you in a second. So you can come to this URL. I'll slap it in the comments below. It's just a Google tool, allows you to quickly make UTMs. So for this case, I just put Google in here as the URL. You would put your website there, obviously. Campaign ID, since my example here is called Mother's Love, I just put ML Twitter for the campaign ID. You can call it whatever you want. It doesn't even need to say Twitter. You can call it like diaper rash. It doesn't matter. Campaign source, I put Twitter in here. I'm not putting, campaign source social and campaign medium. Twitter, Twitter bio, and then campaign name. I would make each of these unique for whatever links you want to track. But for here, I just put Mother Love Twitter bio. So I can go down here, copy this, and then when I edited my profile, if I click edit my profile, I would put that link right here and click save. You also want to make sure when you're optimizing your profile, you want to make sure that you have a nice picture of yourself, that you have a nice hero image, that you in your bio, that you explain who you are. So in this case, CEO of Mother's Love, which is again a totally fake brand. I made the images using AI. And I made this slogan, like helping you build a bond with your baby that lasts a lifetime. Mother's Love helps you improve your lactation in 24 hours or less. I put parody so I don't get in trouble here. And then in location, I just put click here. And I'm just going to resave that. This is what my header image looks like. So this is the other part of your bio that you really want to optimize. So I've got a picture of the product. I've kind of got like our slogan in here, helping you build a bond. This is like something emotional, helping you build a bond with your baby that lasts a lifetime. Again, I just made this whole fake product up for this video. Social proof is really great here. If you have pictures of influencers or something else, or where you've been featured, I put a couple of benefits in here. Again, this product is supposed to help newborn moms lactate so that they feel less stressed, because I know that's a huge thing. New mothers who are having trouble breastfeeding feel stressed. They feel guilty. I've obviously never personally felt this, but I've seen it in the wild. And so I just made this up, and I thought it had a pretty good pain point. I've got a picture of the founder here, who I named Kelly McGee, and I put a little thing that says, "That's me." So it looks like, obviously you want to use your real person and not like use AI and make a bunch of baloney. But again, I'm just trying to make a demo here. So key things to have in here: picture of yourself, your product, some slogans, some social proof. It could be influencers. It's really good to show product scoring so that people know that, social proof is one of the biggest drivers of sales. If they see other people doing it, it must be good, right? So the header, that's one thing. Obviously the picture, you want it to be a picture of you, so that people come over and have a conversation with you. Your name, it shouldn't be your brand. It should be your name. It's a personal account. The goal here is to build yourself as an authority in the community. And it's actually really easy to do. Your bio is also very important. CEO of Mother's Love. That's who you are. What you do, you help people build a bond with their baby that lasts a lifetime. That's what new mothers want. How do you do that? Mother's Love helps you improve your lactation in 24 hours or less. I just put parody here again because I don't want people getting mad at me over a fake account. You could also put something in here like try Mother's Love today, risk-free, and then have the link point to your page. So that's the first couple of pieces. The next thing is we need to have a really great piece of content that we want to pin to the top of your profile. So when we do the things that I'm going to show you, people can come back and people read what you share. They're going to come back and check out who you are, maybe engage with you, maybe follow you, maybe fire up a direct message with you. But when they get here, you want to provide value tied to the problem that you solve so that they can they'll quickly realize that you're an expert on that topic, and you can put your product at the end of the post as an opportunity to buy. So that would be the second link that you're going to need with the UTM. Back over here at the UTM page, the second one would be like your campaign name. So this might be Twitter, the Medium Twitter pinned, and then MLT Twitter pinned 1 or something, right? So we would grab this link, and then the content that we want to produce here, again, we want it to be tied to steps towards the outcome the person wants to reach. If we picture this like a hero's journey, we want the person reading this to be the hero. We want Kelly McGee, who is this Twitter account, to be the guide. And we're going to share the information around what needs to happen for them to see success. And then we'll provide the tool, which is our product, to attack the enemy and get them what they want. So I didn't actually make a crazy fancy post, but I created a thread because this actually isn't a professional account. Now you can either create a thread or you could do a long form post if you have a professional account. But so for this example, I put struggling with lactation. Nothing builds a better bond between a newborn and their mother than breastfeeding. It's been scientifically proven time and time again. Emotionally exhausted and feeling guilty that you just aren't producing enough milk? Read on. So I'm basically going to now share the steps that they can do to achieve the outcome that they want. Following these 7 steps, follow these 7 steps and watch your guilt wash away as you kickstart your lactating effortlessly without taking any prescriptions. And then you can either put these, if you're doing a thread, you could put one of each of these in its own little post here. But so like step 1 would be something like get exercise, blah, 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 blah. Step 2, I'm not a breastfeeding expert here, but something else. And then step 3 might be, this is how we tie on our product. Let's call this ingredient, magic juice. This special ingredient, magic juice, is found in some crazy place in the Himalayas. We've discovered that this not only boosts your immunity, it also crazy activates lactation within 24 hours without any side effects. And then we'll have a third post. This ingredient is readily available on Amazon or other supplement sites, but instead of gagging down this chalky supplement, Mother's Love blends it into a delicious vanilla drink and fortifies it with 108 other vitamins and minerals to help support both mom and baby. Click here to try it risk-free. And this is where you would put that UTM link we just created. So what happens is the things that I'm about to show you, they're going to come here. They're going to come to your profile page after you participate in the community. They're going to see that you're tied to this brand. You've just demonstrated authority with what I'm going to show you. And then they get a little bit of, they understand that you also have this. If they read your bio, there's an opportunity for them to click. And then if they skip all that and just get down to your pinned tweet, they're going to see that you can actually provide some benefits to a problem they're having, and it might be something they should try. So there's an opportunity for them to learn about your brand visually, and there's 2 linking opportunities very, very immediately for them to click over and potentially make a purchase after they understand who it is you are and what it is you do. Obviously, you want to get some social proof, which will probably take a little bit of time in the beginning, but over time, this will develop, and try to keep a positive ratio to followers to following, because that is an important social metric. Okay, so we've got our profile optimized. We've got our header, we've got our personal image, we've got our bio, we've got our pin post, and we've got our UTM link, so we can track in the future where people bought from. what exactly are we going to do? So we're going to do two things. First of all, we're going to make sure that we post a little bit of content every day. Nothing crazy. But that's not really where the magic happens. That's more to engage people once you have an audience, and you don't want to just be a reply guy. So there's posting content, and I'll get to the different content frameworks in a second. But the main thing is going to be building a list of users who create content around the topic that you want to be an authority on. So what you would normally do is you would go, what you're going to do is you're going to click on the premium tab after you've signed up for it. You're going to click X Pro, and that's going to take you here, and you're going to create a new deck. We call it whatever you want. I called mine Mother's Love Demo. And then you are going to, it's going to ask you what you want to build a list or build this off of. And I said, build one off a list. So, let's see. Whatever, I'll make a brand new one here. New deck, test, done. And we're going to add a column, and we're going to do the column based off a list. So I created this list in here. You can create a list simply by going to, when you're logged in, go to lists, create a list, mothers, we'll make it private. It's not going to show up on the other account where I'm showing you, but newborns. So you can do research outside of Twitter to figure out who are the followers, but I'm just going to use the search function here for the sake of examining this. But so you can add all these, whichever ones you want. I've already done that a little bit just for the sake of speeding this up. So right now I have a couple accounts. So we could go on here, check out this downloadable handout on milk storage for home. So you could just simply come in here and be like, wow, this looks great. And if you checked it out, what is the optimal temperature for storing breast milk long-term? And you click reply. And I mean, right now, I'm not going to post this because it's my own account, but you would try to get accounts that have decent reach to start out with. Like some of these don't look like they have a ton, but if you were to look at something in another list of mine, you'll see like I can see which posts have a ton of engagement and easily jump in to join the conversation. You would not believe how impactful this is on the algorithm. So when you do this, not only do you get exposure on these users' posts, your posts become, they basically get pushed up in the algorithm and they're seen by more eyes as well. So you're killing two birds with one stone. So the goal here realistically is to try in the beginning is to try and post comments, questions, advice using this tweet deck or X Pro for at least 30 posts a day. And again, whatever number you use, be consistent with it, because when you look at your overall impressions, which you should do at the end of the week, you want to make sure that if they're going up, that they're going up with the same work output. You don't want to be like, oh yeah, this is great. This week we had, 100,000 impressions, but you posted 3 times as much as the previous week where you had 50,000 impressions. So you only got double the impressions for 3 times the output. So the big part here is finding out which accounts are relevant and building that list. Again, you can do it inside of here, or you can do it on Twitter just by searching around, or you can like Google for who are the top influencers on Twitter for, in this case, breastfeeding or newborns. You want to find people who fit your avatar and whose audience has the problem that you can solve. So you're going to start seeing your impressions go up pretty quickly. And this is what that looks like to get there. You go to premium and then you click on analytics. Again, you're only going to be able to see this if you've got the pro account. This is my account over the last 7 days. I was away for like 4 days, so I was barely posting or barely doing anything. This is just my personal account. This isn't a branded thing or anything like that, but you can see this is how many impressions I got. This is what my engagement was like. This is how many profile visits. This is how many link clicks. You can see your replies. So I would track all of these metrics so that week over week, you can see what this looks like. And then inside of Google Analytics or inside of Shopify, you can use the UTM data to look at the number of referrals that came in, how many link clicks, and most importantly, how many of those people actually purchased. So we're starting to get, now let's say you've been doing this for a couple of weeks, you're starting to get engagement. People are starting to check out your profile. They're following you. You might be getting a couple direct messages. The next layer to this is adding in direct messages. So the goal here is to start connecting with people who are active on Twitter. This accomplishes two things. First of all, it builds relationships. And if you're selling a product, having relationships with your potential customers is extremely valuable. We don't want to actively sell to them. We just want to make them feel like we care about them. We want to ask them questions. We want to ask them for advice. We want to build these relationships, and hopefully we ask enough questions, we provide enough value that they might ask us about our product, and maybe they might want to try it. And at which point you could offer them a discount code or a coupon code as a friend. But more importantly, as you build these relationships, some people might become customers, some might not. We're not hard selling them. But as you engage with their content and you engage with them in direct messages, your content's going to show up more in their feeds. And ideally, if they like what you're posting, they're going to engage on it, which is going to amplify it to an even bigger audience. Maybe they'll retweet, maybe they will leave a comment, maybe they'll just like it. Either way, we are looking to build community, and community starts with relationships. And the best relationships are usually one-to-one. You're not going to be able to have a one-to-one relationship with everybody, but start by just reaching out to 10 people a day, whether it's something they posted and you wanted a little clarity or a little advice on how it worked for them, whatever it looks like. Start the dialogue, add them as a friend, follow them. And the goal here is to just build rapport, build engagement so that they amplify what you do. And maybe they wind up purchasing from you as well. So that's the core stuff. So next is, okay, so we've got all of this going. This engine's working. We're commenting on 30 posts a day or 100 posts a day or whatever metric you decide is good for your business. And obviously, the more you do it, the greater reach and the greater impressions and the greater potential you are going to have doing this. You'll see benefits from as little as 15 minutes a day. But once that's rolling, how do we become an even bigger authority? So that really starts with, outside of the comments that you're leaving on other people's posts, is building out short form content or even long form content on Twitter. So some, popular formats that I like to use, short form video, that short form and long form video, those are probably the two most time intense content types. You're going to spend a lot of time, like I am right now. Like I've been talking here for 30 minutes, and it probably took me an hour to make all these graphics in this account. That's probably not going to be the thing you're going to start with because it takes a long time. The juice isn't worth the squeeze in the beginning. So other formats that I really like is like personal storytelling, short form tips, just like little value things that you can share, 1 or 2 sentences, even things you're thinking about during the day. You can just blast it out and see how people respond. You can create educational content around if it's a supplement, the ingredients in your supplement, or educational content around the outcome that the person potentially wants to receive. You can also create educational content and storytelling around your niche. You can weave them together, edutainment. I also really like branded social proof and case studies. I'd probably limit those to like 1 in every 10 posts because you want to deliver more value than what you ask for. So the branded social proof would be like case studies from people who've been using your product, or testimonials, and with a soft sell, maybe a link to the thing. Another huge one for engagement is just asking questions. Like for this brand, for instance, it could be like, how long after giving birth did it take before you started feeling like yourself again? Simple questions that people want to talk about. People love to talk about themselves. They love to give advice. They love to share their opinions when people are asking. And you're just basically opening the door for them to do that. One thing that you probably should consider when you're creating any of this, if you need kind of a framework, there's an author named Blair Warren. He wrote a book called 1 Sentence Persuasion Course. And if you can kind of wrap your content around the 1 Sentence Persuasion Course, which I'm going to share with you, it's very short in a second, along with Alex Hormozy's framework, which is hook, retain, reward. And Hormozy's messaging is basically, what do you have to say to get them to read what you're saying? How do you retain their attention? So what interesting things, what curiosity can you continue to provide to have them continue reading the content or watching the video you produced? And then reward. What is the outcome they get for completing, reading, or consuming your material? So you take that and you combine it with the 1 Sentence Persuasion Course, which is, this is how you think about writing content once you really know your avatar is. People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. It's very, very powerful. Take that sentence, and when you're creating a story or you're creating some sort of value post, consider how you can implement those things into the story, because it makes them so much more persuasive. So back to tracking here. It's very important that if you're doing this, that you are tracking weekly results so that you're moving forward. Part of this is going to be looking at the posts that you created, which ones did well. These analytics are also going to include the reach from the replies that you've done. So coming into, again, premium and then analytics, and tracking these inside of an Excel spreadsheet is going to give you a lot of data on whether what you're doing is driving in the right direction. On top of these metrics, again, make sure that you include sales from the different links that you produced, so you can know which ones are doing the heavy lifting, and even like link clicks from those pages. Okay, so what does a day in the life of this look like? So this is how I would suggest starting out. So every day you're going to log into Twitter. You are going to go to your profile and you are going to post something. You could write a whole bunch of these in advance, but have them ready to go. So today I'm going to ask, how long after giving birth did you finally start to feel like yourself again? So I would post that. This is just trying to promote their thing. So boom, that's now there. I can see this post is live on my timeline. I don't have any followers, so chances are nobody's going to see it. I got the post out. We already had our pin post locked and loaded from when we optimized our profile. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to premium. Let me go back over here. We're going to go to premium and we're going to go to X Pro, and we're going to choose our deck that we chose. I've only got a couple of people in here and they're not great, but trying to rush here. Let's just take a look at whatever this picture is. What does this person have? 4th of July sale. Okay, whatever. So we would say like, wow, this is great. I've been using this breast pump. I've been using your breast pumps for over a year, and they have worked amazingly well since I finally, once I finally started lactating. Of course, I'm assuming that you're probably going to be an expert on whatever the topic is. I'm not. I probably shouldn't have chose breastfeeding, but whatever. So you're just going to do that. You're going to post it. I'm not posting that because it's my own personal account. Discarding this. And you just go through. I probably wouldn't do more than one per account because it just kind of looks like you're obsessing over them. One per account per day. But go and do that. You're going to do that 30 times. That's how you're going to start. 30 times. Next, once you've got that done, you are going to go and you're going to start doing some cold outreach. So I don't have any followers or anything yet, but go check out Posts of Cats. So I'd be like, hey, how's it going? I saw your post about cats and I was wondering how frequently, again, I'm just going to change the subject here from breastfeeding to cat nails. How frequently do I have to cut my Maine Coon cat's nails to avoid hurting them? And then I would send that, and I would do that 10 times to people that are in my list. Again, not trying to sell, just trying to build relationships and build rapport. You do that 10 times a day. Every 10 posts that you post on Twitter. So if you're posting one, you're also going to post that first post that we did, every 10 pieces. So you could post one post, or you could post 2 or 3 or 5 or whatever every day, depending on how much time you want to put into it. And I wouldn't advise doing 5 a day right at the beginning because it is time consuming and you're not going to get a lot out of it initially. Is do some sort of like soft sale post every 10 posts. That's stuff like case studies, social proof, an influencer using your product who says that's awesome, whatever it is, some sort of soft sell every 10 posts, not more than that, especially in the beginning, because you're here just to try and build rapport. So next, how do we scale this? So, well, that's fantastic. That is not exactly the best image to put on here, but so the first thing, you can do more content. If you're doing one piece of content today, you can go to 2, 3, 4, 5, up to even as high as 10, as long as there's variations. And when you find a piece of content that works really well, you can repurpose that. You can repurpose it into images. You can repurpose it into videos. You can reframe it with a different hook and restructure the body, because the lifespan of a tweet can, typically it's very short, and sometimes it can be a couple days. So people might not see it the first time you post it. They might see it the second. So you can repurpose things. Yep, you can post up to 10 pieces a day. Other ways that you can scale this is you can comment more. I think you're able to post over 1,000 times a day on Twitter now, which is quite a bit. You could do this all yourself, or you could outsource this to somebody on your team whose sole job is to literally participate in conversations that are happening on X or Twitter. Ideally, the amount of conversations happening is large enough to support this. But again, you could be putting up to 1,000 comments a day into the ether. You could also send more DMs. You know, people like Alex Harmozy recommend sending 100 DMs a day. That's a ton, but it's a great way to build that rapport and accelerate how quickly people trust you. So that's the core gist of all of this. You will see a ton of people engaging with you, coming to your website, checking things out, and even making sales. You might not get it the first day. It might take a week or two to get the velocity, but it happens quickly. If you do this consistently, you will see results. I guarantee it. If you've got something that's more complex that you're selling, that takes a little bit longer to make a sale, this is another great way to do it. If you're running ads, this content will live in conjunction with your ads. And some people will probably see this, and then they'll see your ads, your Google ads or your Facebook ads or your TikTok ads out in ether and be like, oh yeah, I actually met that Kelly McGee on X or Twitter. I think I should finally try that product. Another great thing that you can do, and I've actually made a video on this, creating a lead magnet funnel, which is basically creating a small document packed with value that shows exactly how to solve a particular problem that your potential customer might have. That lead magnet can position your product as the solution. You can also include special offers on the thank you page, and the benefit, you usually trade the lead magnet for an email address. So you can send a huge follow-up sequence with like an indoctrination, a best of the best series, and even some sort of scarcity flow, like a logic gain fear sequence, which are all part of a book Ryan Deiss wrote called The Invisible Selling Machine. If you want to watch that video where I go through every step of that, you can click up here. It's right here. I've demonstrated how I've used this in conjunction with paid media to make millions of dollars for an outdoor adventure brand. And you can use it on other places like social media to drive leads instead of trying to jump people into sales. It's a great way to give value without expecting the person to fork over their money. It's a micro transaction. Email for a document. The document should be so good that they want to give you money. So click that video and I'll see you in the next one.